Good morning and happy Fearless Friday. This month, I have been talking about how to make changes to create success and activation energy for yourself. In the last 2 weeks, I have discussed mindset around change, as well as when making these changes, especially when you're thinking about building your personal brand, how you will be receiving feedback or criticism and how you can deal with that. So while we're still on the second pillar of activation energy, and just to remind you, those 3 pillars are mindset, personal branding, and business strategy. So while we're on the second pillar, especially, like I said, building your brand, I'm going to discuss with you how to actually create the changes so that you can start building that personal brand. So first off, I am going to link the videos that I'm talking about, namely the mindset video, as well as last week's how to deal with feedback video in the comments. But also, I have a few different videos about personal branding and how to step into your power that I will share with you as well. Because really, these videos are going to help you be able to start building your activation energy and really see the success that you want. And especially that I feel this theme of change and renewal is so important in our current times right now. So if you're not sure what a personal brand is, like I mentioned, please go watch some of my other videos. I'll link some playlists for you guys. Because really, everybody, and I do mean everybody, needs a personal brand in order to drive their career as a business or even their actual business, whether that be service or product based. So we are going through some major changes in our lives right now. The norm and what is the usual has changed. And honestly, if you are not bringing changes into how you are doing things, you are going to struggle. Companies are thinking differently when it comes to structures and employees. Consumers are thinking differently when it comes to purchase decisions and how they buy from people, companies, brands, businesses. So how are you thinking differently when it comes to your career, your family, your future, and ultimately your business? Are you implementing various options to ensure you have multiple streams of income to protect yourself against future pandemics? This is why you need a personal brand, to be able to leverage your reputation, your skills, your experience, your knowledge to build a future business for yourself. Even if you aren't thinking of or even ready to build a business right now, you need to be working on what you're putting out there so that you can at some point create a transition, because you can become your own online business or brand. And this is not a millennial thing or a generational thing. Purely put, this is a survival thing. What is the legacy you want to leave behind for your family? What is the future you want for yourself? So, how do we go about creating changes and making you the personal brand? So, I have talked about the steps you need to take to begin with your personal brand. And I have talked about the ways in which to take action. So, if you're still not sure about those, please go and rewatch those videos and take a notebook with you, because even if I say so myself, I do share some really good value and some really good tips that I have seen made a difference in my life as I am building my own personal brand, even when I was working with big corporate brands and when I've been working with my clients doing similar things. So just before I really go into detail here, I would love to hear from you. In your words, what do you think a personal brand is, and how do you think having one can benefit you? Please let me know in the comments. It is always great to see what you guys' take and interpretation of what I am teaching is as well. So now I want to go into worksheet mode of what you need to do right now. So take out a notepad and a pen, and please make notes so you can look back on them and start implementing these steps. And also, please tune in next week as I'm going to be building on what I'm teaching you today. So let's start by defining your X factor. Your X factor will help you differentiate what you want your personal brand to stand for, and thus where you can develop and grow and share your skills with others. So the benefit of doing this, of building your personal brand and understanding your X factor, is that you can grow your own skills at work, in your workplace. Because once you start understanding what you're really good at, you can become better at it and share it and be proud of what you're doing. You can also build out your CV differently so recruiters can come to you. You can build out potential additional income stream for yourself, which I know is very needed right now. You can also see where new possibilities and opportunities can come and open up once you start thinking and applying yourself differently. So, how do we figure out what is your X factor? Well, what do you do really well? So think about it this way. What do others tell you you're good at? What do others consistently ask your advice on or want to pick your brain about? Secondly, what roles within a team, business, or even your life do you gravitate towards or get excited to do and do them well? And next thing you might consider is when you are really overwhelmed or stressed or in a difficult situation, what skills do you naturally gravitate to and use to help you focus and overcome it? Is there a methodology or a system that you implement that make you successful in overcoming your stress or overwhelm or problem? And then the next step is there a common theme across successful projects and jobs you have done or certain skills you have used within these projects that have helped make it a success? These elements can be defined as your strengths. And if you watched my video on defining your worth and value, you will see that this corresponds to what you did in that exercise. And you can also then see where you can align these things you just wrote down with what you did in that workbook. If you haven't watched that video and you want the workbook, please pop a me too in the comments and I will share the details with anyone who does ask for it. So the next element you want to be looking at as you're building your brand is your why, your purpose, which is going to be strongly influenced again by the values exercise I have walked you through already. So go back, watch that video, do the exercise because I even created a free workbook to help you, and then come and watch this video again because it's really going to help you. Your why is what will help keep you motivated and focused on your plan. We don't do things we are not motivated to do. And if we're feeling stuck and unsure, it could mean that you haven't clearly defined your why or your purpose yet. Similarly, if you feel there are a lot of things that you're interested in, good at, or want to do, you will feel lost and you won't actually end up doing anything at all. And that's when you need to start prioritizing and see where you want to focus first so that you can lead into the other things that you're good at, enjoy, or passionate about. And maybe you can also see where there's a common thread so that it's more complementary to do the different things together. But at the end of the day, you need to start somewhere because your excuses, and I'm sorry, but that's what they really are holding you back. I read something this week that says, do not say I can't. Rather ask yourself, how can I? And that is absolutely the mindset that you need to adopt. Don't focus on the limitations. Focus on how you can change your perspective and do it. And do it differently. Do it better. Do it in a new way. So then the next thing we need to look at is how do we get rid of the yuck factors? These are blocks that are holding you back from moving forward, creating momentum, and seeing real activation energy. So how do we define yuck factors? So first of all, what are the things that you avoid doing even when you know you need to do it? When are you procrastinating? Why do these things hold you back? Is there a fear or a block that is making you feel anxious when you need to do it? Is there a feeling in your body that overwhelms you when you are doing this? So make notes of all of these and write them down. Even if they seem silly, just go with your gut on this. So the next thing you need to think about is, what can you stop doing so you can move forward and create better space for yourself? I like to use the Eisenhower matrix, and I talked about this in 2 weeks ago video about making time for yourself when you're creating change. And that really is about prioritizing. So when we eliminate the things we don't need, we open up our time and energy for better opportunities. So if anyone has ever used the Eisenhower matrix, please let me know in the comments how you find that and how that has helped you. Because I think if you truly implement it correctly, you can start seeing what are the things you actually don't need to do at all, get rid of those. What are things that you could potentially outsource? Or what are things that you think are stressing you out, but maybe they're not such a big deal at the end of the day. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience by using this similar structure. The next thing that you could use in terms of getting rid of the yuck factor is, like I just mentioned, what are things you can outsource? What are things you can ask for help from others who are better at it? Because the reality is sometimes it really is good to ask for help, to learn from others, or even collaborate when there is something that you're not particularly strong at. So, get rid of the things that are not producing results, yet it's taking up your time, because this will never allow for you to move forward, create activation energy. And if you don't spend time now to get rid of some of the yuck, you're going to sit with more time and energy wasted down the line. So, now that we're clear on what you're good at, why you do what you do, and what things are either holding you back or what you can stop doing, let's get into some action elements. So, first of all, start with 5 words that you want people to identify with you. Because every time you speak, share content, and put yourself forward, these 5 words are what you want people to associate with you and what you're putting yourself out there. So as an interesting exercise, I would love to hear from you guys. What are 5 words that you associate me with? Just pop those in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if I'm meeting my goals of putting my message out there the way I want to. So now we're going to do an audit. And I want you to choose one social media platform, or alternatively any platform where you are presenting yourself to others. So this can be if you write a column for your internal company newsletter, if your desk at work has a certain look and feel about it, if you've noticed that what you wear to work has a certain look, it can be your LinkedIn account, and even it can be your Facebook profile. So anywhere that you're putting yourself out there in a consistent, continuous manner, where people can be looking at that going, they're going to form an opinion about who you are and what you're saying about yourself. So choose this one platform and analyze it. Think about these things. What are you telling other people about yourself? Do they know what you are good at? And do they know what you want from them when they look at this platform? So when you're looking at this, what are the answers that you can get from this? Do you see those 5 words you just identified popping up when you look at what you are putting out there for others to see? What imagery are you putting forward? What other content are you sharing that shows your expertise, your values, or your skills? Is there consistency? Is there a voice or a message? Is there a certain look and feel? Or is it messy and confusing and just blah? So, the reality is everything we put out is an outward portrayal of who we are. And with our digital lives, everything we do is findable by others. So potential employers, potential business partners, potential customers are all seeing what you are putting out there. So what do you want them to be seeing? Is what you are putting out there going to prompt them to go, I want to work with this person. I want to know this person better. Or I need to have access to this person. I think we can do something amazing together. So now that you've analyzed this one platform, You can do the same exercise with other platforms that you are busy portraying yourself on. And you can also then start to decide, where do you want to professionalize certain or all of these platforms so that you can start portraying the best picture of yourself and your brand. And I really want to advocate here for the people who are watching, who are in a career and think that they're happy with their job right now. This is for you too. You do not know what opportunity is out there waiting to find you. How are you going to open yourself up to attracting those opportunities? How are you going to get lucky? Because people that you think have good luck are actually people who opened themselves up to new opportunities and saw what was just outside of the peripheral and took charge of that, and they were rewarded with success and luck. Another thing is when we're building a personal brand, it doesn't have to be extra work. You can make it natural and part of building your career or business. If you know what you want to put forward and you work throughout the exercises that I have been talking about, you will be able to achieve this in a minimal way into your life. So when we start with these steps, you can actually start building your personal brand today. You can transition from thinking of your career as just a means to an end and think of it as a business. And you can start thinking of yourself as a brand that has value and worth. So make sure you watch next week, as I'm going to give you some strategies that you can implement as you are building and growing your personal brand in the season of change. Because when you know your worth and your value, and you are confident in the brand that you are building, you are able to step into your power and live a fearless life.